Hello everyone and welcome back to UKSG Winter 2021. So here we are now with this Manic minor race between Tiny Tim and RuffledBricks. Before we start this run, I'm happy to say that we actually did get a $10 donation from RuffledBricks fan number 1 saying shout out to the ZX Spectrum speedrunning community. I like the tone of this donation. And thank you for it. Amazing. With that said, I'll let you guys take it over.
Hello there, folks. My name is TinyTim78. My good friend, RuffledBricks.
Hello, I'm RuffledBricks from earlier.
And are going to be the referee is going to be Digital Doug.
Hello. I want a clean race. No punches below the belt. Yeah. So this. Sorry.
I'm on it, boss.
So this is going to be a Manic minor race. Tim is going to be racing on the PC version, which is a little bit faster. But RuffledBricks, I hope Tim's okay with me saying this, but RuffledBricks is basically a god at this game.
Yes, a lot better than me.
But it's a risky game, so he might have to take a few safe strats for the slower Spectrum version.
Just remember that in Greek times, a lot of the gods were flawed, and it was accepted by the people.
Yeah. Okay, so we're ready to start?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So you'll see that we're both playing through the same levels. Tiny Tim running a little bit faster, RuffledBricks running on the slower Spectrum version. The basic goal of the game is to collect all of the items and go through the portal, which will flash once you've collected all of the items. If you were around for the Jet Set Willy run earlier, you'll notice that this is the same basic gameplay. In fact, this is the first game in the series. So for now, both more or less in line. Tim's ahead on basis of the game running faster, but things will change in the future. We've left the central cavern, we're into the cold room. So here you'll see the first branch of strats. Tiny Tim will take a relatively safe route, going along the slower shaft jump here. Whereas Tiny Tim is taking some very pixel-perfect jumps, saving an item to the end, and he's going
RuffledBricks.
Is that what? RuffledBricks.
Yeah.
It's hard commentating two things at once.
That's right.
So both now onto the menagerie. Again, we're going to see different strats. Tiny Tim taking the safer, slower routes. RuffledBricks taking some very pixel-perfect jumps once again, dodging those emus very closely. Into abandoned uranium workings. So abandoned uranium workings, we have some sealed enemies here, but neither of them are particularly threatening. We're basically just going to ignore them. This is all about the platforms.
It's toilet time.
You'll see both players running more or less the same route through this room, and onto Eugene's lair. Now this is an infamous room, and it's very special. Not only do we have toilets, but we have Eugene in the center. Once you've collected all of the items in this room, Eugene will actually move downwards to block the exit. I've just heard a death from RuffledBricks there on your abandoned uranium workings, which is
The most humiliating death in the entire
I nearly died on Eugene's lair. I nearly landed in the lavy.
That's incredibly rare,
Yeah.
since there's actually no enemies there to kill you. So
I was too quick on that jump there. So
yeah, it happens.
Okay, sneak under Eugene there.
So Tim's collected the last item there, and Eugene flashes to say that he's coming down and blocking the exit, but he didn't get there in time, and Tim snuck ahead. RuffledBricks is now in Eugene's lair, and he's going to take a much riskier strat. You'll notice that he is only a couple of pixels away from actually bumping into Eugene, and this means that he can get to the end a whole cycle faster. But of course, it's a lot riskier. Tiny Tim moving into processing plant. We have some not Pac-Man enemies. They're not a problem for Tim. They're not a problem for anybody, really. The exit, however.
That's the boss.
The exit is the real boss. It's probably the hardest exit to actually reach in the game. It requires a pixel-perfect jump. Onto the vat. So the vat is the first room that Tim will actually take a faster strat in, because the PC version has very slightly different physics as far as collecting items go, which means you can collect them slightly earlier, and this means you can get a few things out of the way first.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure.
Awesome. We've got $10 from Ian saying, "All hail our great overlord, Eugene!" Thank you very much for a $10 donation, Ian. And yes, we're reaching $2,035 for Crisis. So thank you all. You're amazing.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll see Tim in the minor when he meets the Kong Beast, and RuffledBricks is about to reach there very shortly. This very special room. The Kong Beast is absolutely not Donkey Kong in any way, and I wouldn't dare suggest otherwise. But there are switches above or next to the Kong Beast which will open part of the wall. Well, one of them opens part of the wall, the second one will actually open up the floor underneath the Kong Beast and send him flying into the exit, eliminating him from the level. We don't do that in the run because there's no point. It's just slow, but it will give you a big points bonus if you do.
We could add it in as an incentive very quickly.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit late for that. So Tim is on Wacky Amoebatrons. This is probably one of the longest levels as far as speedrunning goes. There's no real way to speed it up. RuffledBricks has a strat which does save you a cycle, but it's very risky, and we'll probably see it as he's doing it now.
Ooh, a bit close on that jump there.
Tim is in the Endorian Forest, which definitely does not have Ewoks. These are just non-copyright infringing teddy bears.
You'd be a great lawyer, Duck.
Oh, I didn't get Ewoked. Right, telephone time.
Yeah, so this Attack of the Mutant Telephones room was one of the hardest for me playing casually, because I didn't realise, as Tiny Tim has done, that you can just drop down at the start. It seems as though the intended way to play through the level is actually to go all the way around clockwise and then all the way back around anti-clockwise, but you can drop down at the start and save half of that entirely. And we'll see both people do that.
Didn't quite get the fast strat on Amoebatrons, by the way, so I ended up taking a much more what's the word? Careful route around the level.
That's okay, we've got some potential time save on Endorian Forest coming up. Because as is the standard fare, RuffledBricks is taking... This one's only slightly riskier, but it saves some time nonetheless.
It's one of those rare ones you can actually go too fast on it and end up hitting the blue Ewok if you're not careful, so I have to try and burn a few pixels to try and avoid that from happening.
Tiny Tim now in the second Kong Beast level. This is this one's one we're more likely to see a death from the Kong Beast in. We'll see if Tim actually does it or not.
Yeah, I like to kill him.
You savage.
And there he goes. So that's one Kong Beast down. So at least we get some Kong Beast death in the run. Onto Ore Refinery. This is another level which is going to be faster on the PC version because there are differences in the item collection mechanic. So Tim, when playing his levels, can collect items from above by just poking the corner of them with his feet, whereas RuffledBricks can't do that. He has to actually land in the items. So it's another advantage the PC version has, but nonetheless, RuffledBricks still doing very well to keep up in spite of these disadvantages. Tiny Tim is onto the Skylab landing bag. Now, the Skylabs here look relatively random, but they're actually a very consistent pattern that if you look at one particular colour, you might notice that it's actually doing the same thing over and over again.
And I just dunked Kong Beast, so I'm a massive hypocrite for having to go at Tim for doing the same thing.
Well, sometimes the Kong Beast just has to die.
It's too easy.
Onto the bank for Tiny Tim. This is possibly the easiest level in the second half of the game, perhaps short of the final barrier. Having said that, it's still one that can very much catch you out, especially if you're speedrunning, because the speedrun route has a few precise jumps.
Okay, here we
RuffledBricks
go,
there.
16th cavern.
Absolutely nailing all refinery,
Good job.
which is what we like to see. And let's see if he goes for the riskier Skylabs. We're about to see some very precise jumps here from RuffledBricks.
Didn't get it.
That's a shame. We're still going to see some risky jumps though, because even the backup strat is.
Okay, here we go.
Yep. So you'll notice there's an item underneath the exit of the 16th cavern. You do actually collect that as you finish the level, but in some versions of the game, it doesn't look like you do. But you must do. Tim has just taken a death in the warehouse. The warehouse is one of the more difficult levels if you don't know what you're doing. And even if you do. But it's one that you can learn, and when you learn it, it's relatively consistent. It's still hard, but it's not going to be a major bugbear for either Tim or RuffledBricks,
Oh,
I don't
glad I
think.
didn't mess that up too
It's
badly.
very, very hard to get backup strats on the warehouse. That's
Yes.
the one level I found it's hard to have anything to fall back on if you mess it up.
Yeah, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I mess it up, I'm usually just winging it. So Tim slowly making his way through Amoebatron's Revenge, and it's not because of the lack of any strats. It's that Amoebatron's Revenge is just genuinely a slow level to get through. And it's possibly the one that RuffledBricks can get a head start by doing a few faster strats again.
In another speed run, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure.
Great! We've got $5 from Dead Car saying, "Hey RuffledBricks, don't forget to use your ninja robes."
Oh, damn. I wish you'd told me that earlier.
Good timing. Thank you very much for your donation, Dead Car. Really appreciate it. We're now at $2,040 for a crisis, so thank you everyone. We really appreciate it.
Yes, so you'll see Tim is now in the solar power generator, and the unique trait about this room is that there is a bright yellow beam, as you can see, bouncing off the mirrors and the walls. If that beam hits you, it will sap your air a lot faster. We haven't really talked about the air mechanic because, you know, speedrunners don't care so much for time limits, but in this case, this is a time limit that will rapidly reduce. And Tim into the final barrier, which is, I was about to say one of the easier levels, but I guess not.
No, it's not. I've been taking a lot of deaths in here recently.
Yeah, so it's one of those levels where it's not difficult to do, but you can let pressure get to you sometimes.
Those vertical jumps over that yellow trolley in Final Barrier are actually surprisingly precise.
That's what's got me. That's what's got me a
other
couple of
vertical
times.
jumps in the game.
And especially if you're in the wrong position,
Time
it can
coming
be
up
a
for
lot
me.
harder.
And time.
GG, Tim.
That's time for Tim. RuffledBricks still in solar power generator. You'll notice
Close.
he's
It's close though. Very close.
yeah. I mean that is very close, especially considering the differences in versions.
Yeah, it's closer than I was expecting, so I'll take that. Now let's just not cark this and get over the finish line, and we're good.
Ooh, that was quite intense.
So I want to tell everyone, Duck, about my extremely dangerous 2-lap solar power generator strat.
Yeah. So the fastest way to get through solar power generator is to collect the item in the bottom right corner first. And I don't know why Tim doesn't do it, to be honest.
Everyone complains about it in my stream. They're always kind of like, oh, you have to do that jump on the conveyor belt twice. It's like, come on, live a little.
Yeah, but other than that, it's not that difficult. And we're coming up to the final barrier. Oh, we're in the final barrier, sorry. We're coming up to time for RuffledBricks.
This is still going to go down in history as the run in which I failed abandoned uranium works. So, no matter how good the rest of this has gone, that is the one thing I'm going to remember from this. But here comes time, and we're done.
GG.
Yep, nice one. And that was fairly fast for both, I think.
What did I come in at on that one?
It was just over 15 minutes, I think.
Okay, I'll take that.
Do we have anyone officially on time?
A 15:18 for RuffledBricks and a 13:44 for TinyTim.
Oh,
GG, Tim. Well done.
that's only about 7 seconds slower than my PB. So very happy with that. Well done, RuffledBricks. That was a fantastic race, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Big thank
thanks,
you to UKSG.
Thanks, Duck, for the superb marathon
Yes.
commentary over that.
Fantastic,
That was,
Duck. Thank you, my friend.
really well done.
There's been someone else commentating, because that wasn't me.
Well, thank them on your behalf.
Yeah.
I think that's our speakers off. Thank you.
Well, I was just going to say, on that note, first off, thank you to you two for this great race, and as well to Doug for the commentary. Up next, right after this, we've got a Might and Magic Clash of Heroes HD. So definitely get ready for that. But before that, we'll be going into a short intermission. So this was UKSG Winter 2021, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Cheers all!